Alright, so let's come back here and start adding the details. So where were we? We're about this step here. Stop the recording to let the hard drive record, so I'm coming back now. We were right here. Okay, so detail level. We checked the composition, we checked the value, and made sure that everything looked alright. So at this stage, we can start putting our little micro details. Because this stage is a little bit easier. Once you have the overall picture, adding things like this can't really mess it up, because stuff here takes a much lower priority than the overall, right? These things doesn't really matter. See, it works in this stage. So as long as you don't do something stupid like add just crazy amounts of detail or have the detail override this, like imagine I went in here and started painting giant spikes on this thing. That's no longer details. That's starting to mess with the silhouette and the overall design of this image. The things I add here are very, very small and secondary to this, right? Trees, some stuff dangling, some people walking around. It really doesn't affect the overall selling point, which is this building here. So you could just kind of put some music on, relax, and start painting this kind of stuff. And that's how usually painting starts. They start very rough, and the more you work, it gets tighter and tighter and tighter. But it always looks good from the beginning that it's usable. So even at this stage, imagine I didn't even put these details, right? You can still show this if you're working internally in a company and this needs to go to production now, like, hey, dude, we need this to go to 3D and the artist needs to start setting this thing up. This could be used, it's good enough. They could start building this out. They could start messing around with the lighting, and as they get started, then you could kind of try to finish it up. And this happens a lot in studios. Okay, so I added here some trees. Whoops, wrong layer. A little bit of shrub to give it some life, some more people. You can see some more people standing around, and all very rough. I'm gonna zoom in here. You can see these are just big brush marks, but that's fine. Paintings, one of the best ways to paint is start rough. Don't have the line drawing be so tight, because this way you can explore. You could push these values in and out. If you don't like it, push it out. If you like it, push it in. You're not committed to anything, and you want to feel the whole thing. I like these things up here. Supposed to be like Chinese writings and stuff. But for now, I just want to indicate some stuff. I know something goes here, and I can always clean that up later. But to indicate, that's good. Once you zoom out, it's like, okay, there's something here. It could be a painting, it could be a big dragon and a phoenix. It doesn't matter. It doesn't really gonna kill my design, whatever this is. Okay, next step here, the only thing I did here is fog the little trees, you see, because I thought the branch is a little too dark in value compared to this house right here. So, okay, in this stage, I did something to start balancing. Okay, we have this light, 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 and it's very consistent. The sky right now runs across from here to here to here to here in the same value. A little bit boring. I think we could make it a little bit more punchier. So what I did is I darkened one of the corners. Yeah, I darkened this corner so I could pull this light out. And I did that by just basically taking a big soft brush and airbrushing it out and then erasing this section out. That punches this out. And then I'll do the opposite on the other side. Instead of darkening, I'll lighten. Because this will now allow me to create this dark on light. See? So this is dark on light, right? Or a little bit darker, very bright. And then this side is the opposite. You got a very dark building on a very light background. The mountain will pop in front of that, the tree will pop in front of that, this house will pop in that, this will be in front of that. So it goes into this constant in and out. You can see here, this foreground is darker than here. This is now darker than the background. The background is lighter than this, so it keeps swimming around. Your eye's gonna keep swimming, go in, go out, go in, go out. So you create this constant building up of values and one shape in front of the other. This is generally a good thing to follow when you are doing these paintings and want things to read. Okay, so here is where I add that section of light. I'll punch everything up here. A few more little details indicate some guy on a horse, just to try to create that whole village vibe. This could be 1400 China somewhere. That kind of scene, very lively, a lot of things going on. Here I did a very quick, just a foreground element. Maybe this is our little hero guy, just to indicate scale. And this is kind of what the student had in the very beginning of the painting, which is that character standing about here. And we do something very similar, except I move them over a little bit to basically break the composition in nicely. So right now, if we zoom out, we have a subject matter that breaks right through the 1/3 area of our painting. So here's the middle, right? You got that line and this line, and subject matter falls right on that, which is good. And then this guy intersects this line here. So this creates an overall somewhat balanced composition. And he also looks at our subject matter. You see, he's looking this way. He's not looking here or looking at me. He's looking at that. So the tendency is you see him, you look here. Okay. Here we actually added some clouds in just to make the sky even more interesting. Nothing spectacular, not crazy clouds or anything. And this is actually just a photo crop. This cloud comes from some just low res photo. You can see up here, right? Just to save some time. It's fast, right? Boom, boom. And then we'll manipulate the cloud so it looks a little bit more painted. Added some birds, plants, people, all these things are serving as a way to create depth. That's what they're for. Because you see one here and it's going over here, the human brain will think there is a space here. Just like having this guy here and having these little indicated figures here, we know there's a space here. You're playing with the human mind. You're playing with instinct. These things are built into our brains. So by just using these simple suggestions, you are solving a very hard thing, which is creating depth by using these illusions actually, right? So some birds help with that. Here I kind of punch up the sky just to give it a very, this is more, like video game type of lighting here, which is very, very dramatic, this epic lighting. These clouds are basically almost like, looks like they're formed just for this building, right? This perfect band, punch up the light a little bit, just bring in the lighter values. So here you can see a range of value all being used. We got very bright values and we have very dark values. And throughout this, we have this entire spectrum worked, right? We have this down here and we go all the way to almost white. Even this is not 100% white. If you see here, you see it's not 100%. It's close, but it's not. 100% white is very rare in the world, right? If you take a photo right now of whatever's in front of you and bring that to Photoshop, I'm pretty sure it's hard to find at 100% white. It's just hard to get. The only one here is probably here, which is starting to get that whole bloom effect. You see, that's white. That's 100%, 255, yeah. And this is kind of cool. But I want it on here. This is our main read, right? This is not 100%. Oops, let me get to red here. This isn't, but this is. But it exists on our subject matter, which is okay. And it gives a nice glowy effect, which is really popular these days in a lot of games. The whole HDR and blooming. Okay, so so far this is that image here, and a few more details, nothing spectacular, just some more people, and I created some shadows. See this road here? I thought it looks kind of funny. It's like this super straight road, but there's light obviously coming from the right, but no one's casting shadows. So all I did here just add a layer with just some indication of shadows or people casting onto this road, which then also creates a level of in, out, in, out, in, out on the values. And the last thing I did here is basically just balance it with levels, because again I do these in front of a projector, on a projector, and they always tend to be quite dark on the wall. So when I actually bring these back into my computer, they're extremely washed out, like kind of like this, right? It looks okay actually, but high contrast helps, especially if you're going to print this out. You're going to print it out for display or show it to students in class on a sheet of paper, that you tend to want to play up the contrast. Otherwise, everything looks very washed out, like a milky feeling. So the last thing to do is that. And there you have it. This is a very quick 1 hour painting. I think even faster than that. This was probably, I guess, 35, 40 minutes, some sort like that. Because our Cert class is only 3 hours long, and I did 3.5 paintings in that time. So I'll actually, in my next tutorial, I'll show you another one from the same series. So, okay, take a last look, and let's just turn this on and off so you can see the before of what the student did and after. And I want to take this opportunity also to mention that I'm going to try to do a series of these tutorials, keep them ongoing. Every week I'll have 1 or 2. Every time I teach a night class, we'll insert the end result here. And I encourage you guys to actually send in whatever you guys have. Just send it to our email. Maybe we'll create a special account. For now, just email one of us. A painting that, if you want something like touched up, or you think, hey, how can I make this a little better, or you want some guidance on it, just send it to us. I'm not guaranteeing I could work on it. However, this is something I'm trying to do. Is if you can't come to a school full time or go to any school, and you're a little frustrated, you want to learn, you want to get better at this kind of stuff, and this is what these videos are for, is to help promote design, help promote this industry, to get everyone out here to participate. So I welcome you guys to send whatever you guys want. It doesn't have to be paintings. It could be design, drawing, whatever. These videos are going to be very, very casual and very, very open to all sorts of design related subjects. So for now, I'm just starting out tutorials, but we'll get into all sorts of fun stuff: characters, creatures, how to sketch, how to fill your sketchbook, how to do portfolio presentations. I have a bunch of stuff planned. So anyways, check back, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, see ya, bye.